Guys, Kid Willie back, and this is deku and a Shadow Quirk, part 1. So, yeah. You guys wanted to be a villain? Well, only, like, 3 people voted, so... Yeah. Pretty much... You guys picked villain. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm going to be linking my Discord in the description, so go there now if you don't have my Discord. So, yeah. Let's get started with the what if. Where I left off was when Deku stabbed into Bako with his quirk when he was first using it. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm pretty tired. It's 40. So, yeah. So let's get started with the video. Deku, when he wakes in his quirk, he starts hearing this weird voice telling him to rip Bako's throat out. Yeah, that's what happens when you go villain. So, yeah. Pretty much, he hears this weird voice telling him to rip Bako's throat out. And once he, looks on his shoulder, he sees the shadow with, these 2 glowing white eyes. So, just telling him to rip Bako's throat out. So, yeah, I'm pretty much going like that to make him a villain. So, yeah. Pretty much Deku is going to say, no, he won't kill Bako. Pretty much Deku's just going to start crying once he sees Bako's hurt. And then the shadow being just start disappearing. So yeah, the shadow being just starts disappearing. Let's just call that anti-conscience right now. But you guys should come up with a name. Oh right, you guys never help me come up with names, so I'll just have to come up with it later. I'm joking. You guys have helped. Just tired. Okay, so let's get back. So Deku pretty much is going to ask if Bako's alright, and Bako's going to say, no, I'm not alright. What, villain? And Deku's going to ask why he's calling him a villain. Bako's going to say, because you stabbed my whatever, arm, and just is going to start crying to his mother. And yeah, pretty much Bako is going to learn not to mess with Deku early on. This is more of a 0.5, isn't it? So let's get on with the story. Let's go to the Sledgeville. Let's go to the day of school. Okay, so the teacher walks in with these papers saying, we're going to have a pop quiz today, students. And everyone starts booing and stuff like that. And then he just throws the papers up in there and says, just kidding. I know that you all want to be heroes. And then looks back at Deku. And, pretty much, by then, Deku's been, treated horribly. Everyone started distancing themselves from him, thinking that he might attack them. And that just increased the shadow being's influence on Deku. Pretty much, shadow being, thrives on Deku's misery. Well, not misery. Pretty much it has its own personality. The more Deku's sad and wants to go away, personality can take over, pretty much. It's not like multiple personality disorder. It's more or less his quirk taking over. Just imagine it like Great Sage from that time I got reincarnated as a slime in another world. So yeah, just imagine it like Great Sage. It can take over if Deku wants it to, but it can't otherwise. So yeah, Deku has pretty good. He has okay control of his quirk. Let's just say it. That. He can his quirk runs on stamina, by the way. But yeah, he pretty much can move heavy boulders and stuff like that to an inch off the ground with his shadows. And he can also manifest a whip. He can manifest weapons with it. But the limit is it has to be an inch thick, and it only can be about a foot long. So yeah, pretty small. So yeah, Deku's pretty much just going to keep on turning his quirk. But the only way he actually can get strong with his quirk is with the other person. Let's just put it at that. But yeah, pretty much he can control the shadows to become weapons and stuff like that. Mold them pretty much. Let's just call it Shadow Forge or something like that. You can do something like that. That's just a ability I'm coming. But yeah. So Deku's pretty much able to make weapons. He theoretically can make people with it, but yeah. He's not going to figure that out for a while. So, yeah. Okay, so let's go to the Sludge Golem attack. No, let's go to when... No, okay, so... I forgot to mention this, but Bakugo explodes, Deku's notebook like a cannon, but something happens to Bakugo. Deku pretty much just stabs him straight in the arm for doing that. And Bakugo is just crying because of it. And Deku says, if you don't want someone to destroy something of yours, then don't destroy something of theirs. That is something pretty twisted to say, but yeah. So, Deku pretty much has kind of a twisted personality in this one. Okay, so let's say that Deku's just walking home because he doesn't want to deal with any more of that Bakugo BS. So yeah, pretty much Deku, just takes a shortcut that he knows Bakugo never takes, and sees the Sludge Villain. Well, he doesn't see it, but the Sludge Villain tries to attack Deku, and Deku just raises, he doesn't raise anything, he pretty much just ends up making a shield that's 1 inch thick and, blah blah blah, I don't know, a foot long. So, yeah. So, yeah. And Deku pretty much just, Deku pretty much just after that, just starts making spikes come out of the ground of shadows. But not that big of them. So yeah. Then, once the Sludge Villain doesn't actually go down, the shadow starts coming out because Deku's getting frustrated. And then it happens. It takes over a bit. He starts getting an evil grin on his face. Pretty much, as soon as the shadow starts coming out, his shadows start getting a lot stronger. Pretty much, he ends up making a 20 feet area of shadow. Up, down, whatever. Pretty much 20 feet area. And, yeah. So, deku pretty much just engulfs, like, a neighborhood, I want to say. I don't know how much 20 feet is. It's like a house, so about a house distance, so yeah. Let's just say he engulfs, like, a piece of a couple houses in shadows. And then starts making his weapons out of it, making spikes, but they're even bigger. And then he makes a jar then he starts making the shadows start going into the ground and start making the sludge villain go into the ground with them. That part of his quirk I never mentioned because he only can do it when, the shadow person comes out. Pretty much, he's able to make a shadow dimension. It's like a pocket dimension, but for shadows. So, yeah. Pretty much, he drags the sludge villain down into it. And all you can hear is the screams of the sludge villain. And he's screaming, it burns. And Deku is giving a nice and evil grin. Then All Might comes in that area and asks, "Is this your quirk kid? And have you seen the sludge villain?" I mean, he'd ask, "Have you seen sludge villain?" And then ask, "Is this your quirk kid?" After seeing the entire sky is purple-ish black, Like, that's the best way I can describe it. It's purplish black, so yeah. And he says, "Yeah, my quirk is shadow manipulation." And then sees a weird thing on Deku's shoulder. Right. All Might sees a weird thing on Deku's shoulder and thinks that's a piece of the sludge villain. And then just tries, getting it off Deku. And then it just starts, but before All Might could grab it, it starts fading into Deku. So, yeah. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys later.